I'm going to be ranking the top 100 cards right now in NBA 2K23. My team, we have a tier list here that ranks from S that goes all the way down to F tier, and we have, in my opinion, the top 100 cards currently in the game. Free cards, locking cards, cards you guys can buy off the auction house. In my opinion, these are going to be the top 100 cards right now in my team, and you guys can let me know in the comment section down below what you guys would change about my tier list. But we do have a lot of cards to rank, so let's just get right into it. First card here is going to be Galaxy Opal AK-47. Is it crazy to say that AK is now down to the B tier category? I still think AK is a really good two-way small forward, 6'9" with a 7-foot wingspan. I guess I probably could put him in A tier. It's just like there's so many other great small forwards in the game, but I'll still put AK-47 somewhere in that A tier category just because of his defense and his jump shot, one of the best two-way small forwards in the game. So I'll give AK that A tier category. Anthony Davis, on the other hand, I think is probably B or C tier. Like, I just don't think Anthony Davis is really too great of a card. You know, his jump shot's going to be super slow, because he did get the Evo for his playoff card, but they didn't touch his jump shot or his animation, so his release is still going to be super slow. Yes, he's a good defender. He is a little bit undersized for power forward as well, so I'll put Anthony Davis somewhere in that D tier category. Artis Gilmore, I think you got to put at least in the A tier spot. I could definitely see Artis Gilmore though being in the S tier category. He's such a good center power forward card, 7'2" with a 7'5" wingspan, and he's just going to bring elite level defense to the table with a 95 block, 92 steal, 92 perimeter, 98 interior defense. He's also super athletic, 90 speed, 90 acceleration, 94 vertical, 97 strength, and does have a capable jump shot. So I think Artis Gilmore easily going to be at least in the A tier category. Amari Stoudemire, I would say, is probably like somewhat on the same tier as Anthony Davis. I think he's probably slightly better at power forward, so I'll put Amari Stoudemire somewhere in that C tier category. Ben Simmons, another guy that I think has got to be an A or the S tier category, but I think Ben is probably the second or the best point guard in the game, so I think you have to put him in S tier. He's one of the best point guard defenders in the game. He's got great size at that point guard position and is also one of the best slashing point guards in the game, so I think Ben Simmons going to be in that S tier category. The free Carmelo Anthony, I think, is actually not that bad. I kind of want to put him in C, maybe B tier. Like, he's not a bad free card, especially for a locker code that all you have to do is type in a code and then score 22 points to evo him. You get a really solid dark matter card. I don't think he's going to be anything too crazy. I would say, yeah, he's probably somewhere in C tier. Like, he's just a very solid small forward card in the game. Earl Lloyd, I think I will put him B tier. I would put him a lot higher if he was a little bit taller, but I think Earl Lloyd is such a good shooting guard, 6'5" with a 6'9" wingspan. I mean, the only problem this card has is his height being 6'5", because he's got a great jump shot, really good dribble six. He's got the tray fade, aim behind the back, quick drops off one. He's got front clutches. He's even got a 95 contest shot tendency, but him only being 6'5", I think, compared to the top 100 cards in the game, I think for now he might get moved up to A tier, but I think for now he's going to be somewhere in B tier. Bull, the hero one, obviously going to be an S, and so would the interdimensional one. I'm not going to put the hero and the normal version of every single card. Like, I'm not going to have Ben Simmons hero and his Titans version, but I would say both of them probably going to be in that S tier category. Bull, I would say, is easily still the best small forward in the game. Big Z, I think you got to put A tier just because of his size at the small forward and shooting guard position. You get a card that's 7'3" with a 7'6" wingspan and can play small forward and shooting guard. Pretty much all you need to know about Galaxy Opal Big Z. Bill Russell, I think you also got to put somewhere in that A tier category. A really good defender, one of the best in the game, and still has a capable jump shot. Bob Pettit, I think you might have to put Bob Pettit in A tier as well. I think all four of those small forwards are very similar cards, especially AK, Bob Pettit, and Bill Russell. I think you're all on the same level at the small forward position, and then you just got the giant in the Galaxy Opal Big Z. Invincible Giannis, I know this might be a little bit of a surprise to some people, but I'm putting Invincible Giannis in the S tier category. I think he's one of the best small forwards in the game. I actually personally think he's the best small forward behind Bull, just because of his size, his player model, his defensive animation. I think Invincible Giannis is super underrated compared to what most people think about him. I absolutely love the card, probably just a preference thing, but I think Invincible Giannis is going to be in the S tier category. DeMarcus Cousins, I guess I'll throw him in D tier. Like, I would say he's on the same level as an Anthony Davis. Devin Booker with 50 Hall of Fame badges. I think you got to put him B tier because he has those 2 Evos. He's going to be a lot better of a point guard, you know, getting 20 extra hops, getting some better defensive stats, you know, just all around badges. His SIGs and his jump shot isn't going to get updated, but that's already pretty good. You know, the deep book size up's pretty solid. The tray escape, aim behind the back. He's got a really solid jump shot. So I think Devin Booker is probably somewhere in that B tier category, a really good point guard with 50 Hall of Fame badges. LeBron, I would say, is going to be in C. He's still a good defensive small forward, really good at getting to the basket. I just don't know if LeBron's going to be in the B tier category anymore. Caron Butler, I know might be a surprise to a lot of people. I'm putting Caron Butler in that B tier category. I think he's got a great jump shot. He's just a really good all-around shooting guard. Whenever I use Caron Butler, he just plays so well in game for me. So I think Caron Butler gonna be in that B tier category. Vince, I think you got to go A tier because of his rim running ability. He's one of the best slashing shooting guards in the game and just one of the best rim runners in the game in general. So good at getting to the basket, dunks on everybody, and also does have a really good jump shot with that Kyle Kuzma base, the Vince Carter upper on very quick timing. I just feel like it's such an easy jump shot to green with. And I think now that I'm looking at it, I think I'm gonna put Earl Lloyd in the A tier category just because of the fact that I don't think he's that much worse than a Vince Carter. I think they're very, very similar shooting guards. I would say Vince is slightly better, but I think they're on that same tier in A tier. Chet, I think you also got to put in S. I think these are the top 3 small forwards in the game. Bol 1, Giannis 2, and Chet 3. I know a lot of people probably would put Chet over Giannis. I like this card a lot. I think he's one of the best cards and one of the best small forwards in the game. Just for me personally, I didn't like him like a crazy amount where I thought he was like the best small forward in the game. He's super elite though, has a good jump shot, and he's going to be super overpowered. I definitely think he's going to be an S tier. I would prefer Giannis over him at the small forward position though. Chuck Cooper, I would say was a little bit worse than like a Earl Lloyd. I'd probably put Chuck Cooper somewhere in the B tier category alongside like a Caron Butler at shooting guard. I think that's pretty fair to say. Steph Curry, as much as I like using Curry cards, and I think he's a super fun point guard. If you guys are a Curry fan, you can definitely still run this card and have a lot of success and fun with him, but I just think compared to the other tall point guards in the game, once again, guys, we're talking about the top 100 cards in my team. So even that Curry's on this list, he's a top 100 card in the game, or at least around that. So I think you got to include him somewhere in this tier list. Same thing with Dame. They're really fun point guards to use. I've used Dame. You can definitely use this card in clutch time, especially. He can pull up from 4, like the 4-point range. He's got a great jump shot. He's really fun to use in game. Him and Curry, super fun to use. Just compared to the top 100 cards in my team, I think gonna have to be in the F tier category. Luol Deng, I would say Luol Deng probably somewhere in C tier. Like, he's a really good two-way shooting guard. He's 6'9" with a 7-foot wingspan. He brings great defense to the table, and then does actually have pretty good dribble sigs and a very solid jump shot. So Luol Deng, I think gonna be in C tier. Dirk Nowitzki, I would say easy B tier. He might honestly be A. I mean, he's got a great jump shot, 7'1" at the 4. I'm gonna throw him in B tier for now, but I definitely could see Dirk Nowitzki being in the A tier category. Donovan Mitchell, same thing as Curry, same thing as Dame. I love using D-Mitch cards. He's one of my favorite point guards to use in my team always, but I think he's going to have to be an F tier. And then D-Rob, you know, Dwight, I think all going to have to be in B tier. I think D-Rob, Dwight, Dirk, all very similar level cards. You know, Dirk, I would say is the better offensive power forward between a D-Rob and a Dwight, but then D-Rob and Dwight are more of like the defensive power forwards, the guys that are going to be great, you know, all-around defenders and have very solid jump shots. I would say Joel Embiid and Patrick Ewing probably going to be that one tier below a Dirk Nowitzki, a D-Rob, and a Dwight. I think they're very solid bigs in the game, but just compared to these three guys, I think they're going to be that one tier below. Taco Fall, I still think you got to put in the S tier category. He's 7'6" at power forward, 8'2" wingspan, and is just super overpowered on the offensive end, being able to mash. You know, he's unstoppable unless your opponent's got a, you know, a taco stopper, like they have a Rick Smith or Yao Ming or Manute Bol, a Shaq, or Artis Gilmore. Like, if you don't have those, you know, 4 or 5 center cards, power forward cards, you're just gonna get mashed. Like, Taco Fall's mashing D-Rob, Dwight, Dirk pretty much every single possession, and that's why I think he's still got to be an S tier card. Marcus Saul, I actually do like Marcus Saul a lot. I would put him in A tier just because of his versatility, able to play center, has enough size and defense where I think he can play the center position unless you run into some like really tall centers, but then you can just slide him over to the power forward position, and I think he's actually slightly better than a Dirk, a D-Rob, and a Dwight at that power forward position. But looking at Jalen Green, I think he's probably going to be in C tier. I would say he's like that 1 tier below a Devin Booker at point guard. And same thing with James Harden. I think he's a really good offensive point guard. I love using Harden cards in my team. I just don't know if he's going to be in that B tier level. Hudo Turkoglu, another easy, I would say B tier point guard for now. There's so many good point guards in the game, so I want to include Hudo Turkoglu in B tier, but I think he honestly could be an A. Havlicek, I would say is probably C tier. Another just solid card in the game. I think he's better than Anthony Davis and DeMarcus Cousins. Same thing with Allen Houston. I think they're very solid all-around free shooting guards. They have good jump shots. They can score the ball, and they play solid defense in the game. Jonathan Isaac, I would say, is probably once again around that Bill Russell, Bob Pettit, AK-47 level at the small forward position. He's one of the best defenders in the game. Just as all-around play on the defensive end makes him super valuable. Jason Richardson, I think you put him in the same tier as Caron Butler. I think Jason Richardson actually super underrated at shooting guard. I think Jaylen Brown also super underrated at shooting guard. I know a lot of people probably going to disagree with that take of me putting Jaylen Brown in the B tier category, but I think he's really good. He's got some of the best things in the game. He's amazing at going to the basket. His defense is top level, and I think he's actually got a decent release, a lot better than most people make it out to seem. So I should like Jaylen Brown a lot. I'm gonna put him in the B tier category. Jimmy Butler, I think also got to be in B tier. A really good defensive point guard, has a solid jump shot, pretty good dribble saves for a Jimmy card, but we know he's still gonna be one of the better point guard defenders in the game, and that's why he's still gonna be super valuable on your court. Joe Johnson, I would say, is that 1 tier below. Just wasn't really the biggest fan of ISO Joe this year. Hasn't really had too many great cards in my opinion. Nikola Jokic, easy S tier card, no debate. I think he's either the best point guard or the second best. I think him and Ben Simmons is a super close debate at that point guard position. It really just comes down to, are you looking for offense or are you looking for defense? And I think if you're looking for the all-around better point guard, I think Jokic right now is the best point guard in my team. J.R. Smith, I think you got to put in B tier. I think he's just a really good offensive point guard, has a solid jump shot, really good dribble saves. He can score at a super high level. I just don't know if he's going to be in A tier, but I definitely wouldn't say he's in C tier. Kawhi Leonard, I would say Kawhi, just because of his defense, probably goes in C. He's still got an okay jump shot, but his defense on ball is going to make him probably a C tier card. Kevin Durant, I'm throwing in D tier. I know a lot of people are going to disagree with that. They probably put him in C tier, but I just don't like his jump shot this year. I don't think his dribble saves are really anything too special, so I'm going to have to put KD in the D tier category. Still a really good small forward you can run in game, but I'm just going to have to put him in D tier for me personally. Hakeem Olajuwon gonna fit in that tier with the Dwight Howard, the D-Rob, and the Dirks of the world. I think he's just another really solid power forward card. Looking at Dikembe Mutombo, I think he's on that tier, maybe a little bit better though. So I would say Dikembe actually probably an A tier. He's still got really good size, can play power forward, has a really good jump shot in the catch and shoot. And we know Dikembe is going to be one of the best shot blockers in the game. Shawn Kemp, I think, is also really good at small forward. I would say he's probably high B tier though. I wish he had a little bit more defense to the card, but I like his jump shot a lot. I think he's really good at getting to the rim. I just don't know if he's on that same tier as a Isaac, a AK, a Bob Pettit. I think for now probably going to be 1 tier below. A guy that's definitely in the A tier category though is going to be the Dark Matter KG. He has a legit argument to be an S, but I think for now I would take Bol Bol, Giannis, and Chet over him. So I think for now he's going to be in that A tier category, but still one of the best defensive small forwards in the game. I think just an upgraded and better version of Bill Russell. Next card's going to be Kobe. Got to go in D tier once again. Really looking forward to a new Kobe Bryant card. Hopefully gets an invincible that can play point guard and they change his jump shot and just overall make him a better card, because this one realistically just isn't that great in my opinion, you know, compared to what Kobe can be like in my team. Kristaps Porzingis, easy A tier card on the same level as an Artis Gilmore. Dikembe Mutombo, he's still one of the best power forward center cards in my team, with an amazing jump shot, being 7'3" and also very solid defense because of his size. Kyle Kuzma, I would say probably B tier. I think he's that one step below an AK, KG, Bill Russell, Jonathan Isaac. I think he's just that one step below, but a really good offensive small forward with one of the best small forward jump shots in the game. Kevon Looney, I would say, is probably also B tier. He plays good defense, you know, all around great athletic power forward, great rebounder. He just does everything at a super high level and actually has really good dribble saves. Brook Lopez, I would say on the same tier as Marc Gasol. I think he's one of the better center cards in the game. I know center's probably one of the weaker positions in my team, but he's still got great size at the center position, has an amazing jump shot. I think you put Brook Lopez somewhere in that A tier category. Luka Doncic, that's a really close one, man. Do you put Luka in S tier? I think it's really close. I'm gonna go Luka in A tier for now because I'm not sure how many cards I want to have in the S tier category. Luka's a really good offensive point guard, maybe even the best offensive point guard right now in my team. So I'm gonna leave Luka in A tier for now, but I could definitely see him, being in S tier at the end of the video. Mono Ginobili, same tier as J.R. Smith. Wherever J.R. Smith goes, I think Mono goes. Both really good 6'6" offensive point guards. Just wish they were a little bit taller and had a little bit more defense to the cards. Manute Bol, obviously easy S tier. Don't think there's really too big of a debate with Manute Bol. The best card in my team, easily S tier. He's 7'7" and can play power forward and center. 8'5" wingspan, one of the best player models in the game. And then of course his stats aren't going to be anything too crazy, but when I tell you guys Manute Bol runs way faster than 83 speed, 83 acceleration, it feels like he's got 90 plus speed in game. Like he can keep up with the majority of the cards. I think Manute Bol easily got to be an S tier. And then for the next two point guards, Magic Johnson and LaMelo Ball, I think you either put both of them in S tier or you put both of them in A tier. So I'm not 100% sure if I want to put Magic and LaMelo in S. I think LaMelo's a little bit better, so maybe for now I put LaMelo Ball in the S tier category. I think that's a really close debate though between LaMelo Ball, Luka Doncic, Magic. I think all three of those point guards are on the same level, but I'll put LaMelo in the S tier category for now. Both Yao Mings, I think, gotta go in S. I mean, still one of the best, if not the best center card in the game behind Manute Bol. I mean, even the Galaxy Simple Yao is still a top 3 center in the game, maybe top 4 depending if you like Rick Smith a little bit more than Yao, but I think both Yao Ming cards gotta go in S, and I think I'm gonna move LaMelo Ball actually down into the A tier category. I think he's more so on the level of a Luka Doncic and a Magic. I'd say Luka, Magic, LaMelo probably all going to be an A tier. Mitch Richmond, same tier as Allen Houston, Havlicek, just solid free shooting guards in the game, nothing too special about them. I'll say Mitchell Robinson in B tier alongside Kevon Looney. I think they're very similar cards. Looney plays power forward, Mitchell Robinson plays center, but I think they're very similar cards, with their defense. Mitchell Robinson has every single Hall of Fame defensive badge in the game and is super athletic. I think Michael Jordan gonna be in that A tier category, a little bit worse in my opinion than a Luka, a Magic, and a LaMelo, but I think he's in that conversation with these three other point guards. Nate Clifton, I would say, is probably B tier. And just because he's only 6'6" at small forward, if you have a card like Big Z though on your lineup, or if you have a really tall lineup, you can definitely still play Nat Clifton. I keep calling him Nate, but Nat Clifton I think is definitely a B tier card. He's got some of the best sigs in the game, a really good jump shot. Just wish he was a little bit taller. Joakim Noah I think is also going to be in B tier. I think he's on the same level as some of these top tier power forwards like a Dwight Howard, a Hakeem Olajuwon. I think he's right up there with those cards even though he's a Galaxy Opal. So I think Joakim Noah going to be in B tier. Pascal Siakam, I think I'm gonna have to throw in C tier. He just didn't really get the best dribble sigs like I was expecting him to, and his jump shot is still gonna be the same. I really like Spicy P. He's one of my favorite cards to use right now in the game, but I think realistically gonna be in C tier. Pau Gasol, I think probably also C tier as well. Just nothing too special at power forward or center. Penny Hardaway, I'm gonna put in B tier. I still like this Penny card. I think his rim running ability is is one of the best in the game. Super good at getting to the basket. Just wish he had a better jump shot. Peter Gudmundson, I think you also got to put in B tier, on the same level as a Mitchell Robinson at center. Peter, 7'2", 7'10" wingspan, actually does have a really good jump shot for the catch and shoot. So I'll say Peter gonna be somewhere in B tier. Paul George, I actually like this PG card a lot. I'm gonna put him in C tier. 6'9", can play the shooting guard position, has a solid jump shot. I don't like his sigs too much. Like, I think his movement is pretty bad, but other than his movement, I think he's a really good all-around shooting guard card. Scottie Pippen, I think you got to put, once again, at least in the A tier category. Definitely could be an S tier just because of his ability to play small forward and shooting guard. But I like keeping a lot of cards in A because there's so many other cards on this tier list that I'm not 100% sure if Pippen's going to be an S tier, but I think he's for sure one of the guys that I think probably will be in the S tier category just because of his defense. He's got an amazing jump shot, pretty good updated dribble sigs. I really like that Scottie Pippen card. Think he's going to be an A tier for now. Ray Allen, I think is a good shooting guard. I mean, if you got Jaylen Brown in B tier, I think you got to put Ray in B tier. A really good offensive 2 guard in the game. I think him and Earl Lloyd are very, very similar. Kareem, I think just because of his size, you probably give him at least B tier. I'm not the biggest fan of Kareem, man. I'm not putting him in A tier. I just don't like that Kareem card too much. I don't like his jump shot, but I think because of his size, his wingspan, and his player model, I think you got to give him somewhere at least in the B tier category. Ricky Davis, I'm gonna put him B tier as well. I think Ricky Davis, a really good offensive 2 guard, has a great jump shot, still great offensively. Is he on the same level as a Earl Lloyd, a Vince Carter? I don't personally think so, but I think he's really close. Gonna be in that high B tier category. Rick Smith, easy S tier in my opinion. I think on that same level as the hero Yao Ming. Is he better than Yao? No. Or I don't know. I think it's really close. I'm really not sure between Yao Ming and Rick Smith. I think it's a really close debate. I will say Rick Smith does have the way better jump shot than Yao Ming in my personal opinion, but I think they're going to be very close and both deserving of the S tier category. Richard Jefferson, solid shooting guard card. I'll put him somewhere in C tier. Ron Artest, I think's got to be an A tier. Once again, in that conversation with Michael Jordan, Luka Doncic, Magic, LaMelo, I think all of those guys are very similar at point guard. Jalen Rose, a guy he's similar to, is going to be in B tier, and that's Hudo Turkoglu. I both think these cards are going to be a B and are very similar point guard cards. Derrick Rose, once again, just going to have to be an F tier. A really fun point guard to use, especially if you're a Bulls fan or a Derrick Rose fan. He's a really good athletic point guard, fun, great at getting to the basket. Just going to be undersized compared to the top tier cards in the game. Sabonis, I'm actually putting in C tier. I just don't like his jump shot. That's something that's, all my preference. I know a lot of people do like Sabonis, and if you want to put him in B or A tier, I think that's perfectly fair to say. I just personally don't like his jump shot. Sabonis got to be on the same tier. The DeMontis Sabonis got to be in the C tier category alongside Pau Gasol. Sarunas, I would say, is probably also C tier. Him and James Harden remind me very similar of each other. I think they're very similar point guard cards, where they're going to be great offensively, 6'5", just could use a lot more defense and maybe a little bit more height. Brian Scalabrine, easy A tier card in the game, 100% on that same level as a AK-47, Kevin Garnett, Bill Russell, Jonathan Isaac, Bob Pettit. I think they're all going to be an A tier. Sean Elliott, I will say, is probably high B tier in my opinion. I think he's just a worse version of Steve Smith, who I'll put in A tier. I still think Steve Smith, one of the better shooting guards in the game, maybe a little bit better than a Vince Carter and an Earl Lloyd, just because of his size, and he really doesn't have any flaws necessarily. Shea, I'll put in B tier. Another really good offensive point guard alongside Hudo Turkoglu with Jalen Rose. I think he's got a great jump shot, really good dribble sigs with the Kyle Lowry size up, the tray escape. He moves really well, and I think all around is probably a B tier card in the game. The Diesel Invincible Shaq, gotta go in the S tier category. I actually think is the best power forward card currently in my team. I think he's better than besides Manute Bol. I think Manute Bol is the best card. It's hard to really count Manute, it's really hard to count Manute when you're ranking cards because, of course, he's going to be the best power forward and center. But besides Manute Bol, I think Shaq is the next best power forward. Jason Tatum, actually going to be an F tier. This card is horrible, man. Didn't get an update to his SIGs or his jump shot. I would take, even Curry in these cards over him potentially. He's just not a great card in the game. Terry Dischinger, though, easily got to be... He's got to be S too, right? He's got to be S. He's still one of the best offensive cards in the game. I think you got to put Terry Dischinger in the S tier category. Thurl Bailey, gonna be an A tier once again alongside those power forwards. Bill Russell, Jonathan Isaac, AK, Brian Scalabrine is a really good defender and just a budget version of Invincible Giannis. Tim Thomas, I think you also got to put in A tier. I actually like him a little bit more. And then a Terry Dischinger at shooting guard because he's 6'10", has a great jump shot and really good dribble sigs. He moves really well in game. I think Tim Duncan probably gonna be in C tier. Maybe you could say B tier, but I'll go Tim Duncan and B. And then for the two Tracy McGrady's, I think both T-Macs also got to be in the S tier category. They're some of the best offensive cards in my team. I mean, you look at the Radiant T-Mac and the Invincible, they're going to be very similar cards. Obviously, yes, the Invincible is better with the upgraded stats and the badges, but I think both Invincible T-Mac and the Radiant have to go in the S tier category. Bill Walton, I would say is A tier. Actually, a really good power forward card. I would say is a little bit better than a Dirk Nowitzki, a D-Rob, a Hakeem. I would say he's on that Dikembe Mutombo level at the power forward position. Dominique Wilkins, just because of his rim running ability, I kind of want to put Dominique in A, but I think I'll go B tier for Dominique just because of his jump shot not being the best. Will Chamberlain, I'm putting in C tier. I mean, this card just doesn't have a great release. James Worthy, just a better version of LeBron, gonna be in C tier. And then Zion Williamson, I think is probably gonna be... I would say Zion in A tier. I really do like this card at the small forward position. I think he's got a great jump shot. He's super good at getting to the rim. Yeah, I would say actually Zion Williamson gonna be in that A tier category. And then to round out the top 100 cards right now in my team, I think Alonzo Mourning is also gonna be in the A tier category. So how many cards do we have in S? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I think that's perfect. In my opinion, these are going to be the top 15 cards right now in the game. And let me know in the comment section down below, what do you guys think about my top 100 cards tier list? I'm just going to quickly scroll through the tiers, and you guys can pause the video or just see, where I have certain cards ranked. If there's anybody I missed on this tier list, let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll tell you guys, who, or let me know their names, and I'll tell you guys where I would rank the card. But yeah, hopefully you guys did enjoy. It took me a long time to record, edit, upload, all that type of stuff. So if you guys could drop a like, and if you're new here, drop a sub, I'd really appreciate it. But hopefully you guys did enjoy the video, and let me know what you guys would change and think about my tier list, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.